are concerned about that, and I think we have to be vigilant.
Yeah. What government agencies could have the power to cover up these UFO and UAP crash retrievals and so forth without any oversight from the front government?
All of them.
Yeah.
So let me explain how a little bit of history here.
Yeah.
When you start dealing with top secret operations, they're very highly compartmentalized, and there's special access projects. And as you know from our documentary Unacknowledged, there are ones that are unacknowledged special access projects.
Yeah.
Now, within those, and those mean that if you're not in the project, you're not to tell anyone outside of it. Those have been, and not just on the UFO issue, on a number of issues.
Yeah.
Around Contra, for example. But now there's a branch of those that went rogue, and the rogue ones don't have any legal oversight. So a lot of people confuse like the black budget of the United States, which is very, very secret. That the legal black budget is legal, is known by the president, his guys, and the chief oversight committees and members of the Senate and House. Yeah. I'm talking about ones that have gone so rogue and black that they're not overseen, but they're enfolded. It's like those Russian folding dolls, you know, where you stack the dolls. I forget what they're called. But yeah, exactly. But they're hidden within other SAPs, other special access projects. And of course, we uncovered this back in the 90s. And so that structure, let's say the architecture of the secrecy, unfortunately, allows for those operations to go completely unsupervised, even by senior members of the Pentagon. For example, General Patrick Hughes, or you all know the memo leaked out from Dr. Davis about my briefing, the head of intelligence for the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Admiral Wilson. That happened because even though he had this very high position, which, you know, he was the J2, he was in charge of intelligence for the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Right. And when we gave him some information about this, he made some inquiries. He was not only denied access, he was threatened. And now, you know, people go, how is that possible? Yeah. Now, a lot of people back in the day, when I first said this happened, thought this cannot be true. Later, this memo leaked out from Eric Davis. They went, oh, God, it was true. Look, you know, some of the things I say, people go, wow, that's really out there. But it's all based on fact. Yeah. And it's all true. And people will come to find that what we've been saying in the 90s and 2000s and now in the 2020s, when it all comes out, every bit of it will be true. Yeah. As outrageous, and I will admit, it is outrageous. But if we don't get a handle on this, we're really facing a catastrophe. Yeah. And I mean, we really are as a people, as a civilization, not only because the technologies that would get us off of fossil fuels and save the biosphere are being withheld, but that there's this rogue element that has weaponized these technologies. And without supervision and knowledge, I can assure you that the people I know in the Congress and the White House have no knowledge of that operation. And Pentagon, General Hughes had no knowledge of that. Incredible. Admiral Wilson had no knowledge of it. So when you have that happening, that group really is a threat to world security and national security. Right. So one of the things that I want to remind people, there's this wonderful quote from one of the very first directors of the CIA, who in 1947 was CIA director. And of course, that was the year Roswell happened. Yeah. In 1961, after Eisenhower made his speech of beware the military-industrial complex, and it was a veiled reference to this problem, this man, Admiral Roscoe Hillenkoetter, wrote to the New York Times, and he said, quote, I'm paraphrasing actually, he said, the secrecy around UFOs is a threat to the national security, not the UFOs. So when I go into these meetings, I said, I know what you're hearing from the echo chamber of ufology is that we're under some kind of alien invasion. In reality, the secrecy around the subject is a threat to the national security because this group that has run, it's like a Frankenstein we created in the 40s and 50s that's gotten off the table and then is walking amongst us. It's a monstrous operation. Yeah, right. And some of the guys that I know who recently have been out in the field trying to penetrate these programs have texted me on encrypted systems and said, wow, these people are thugs. Using the word thugs. I said, absolutely they are. So that's what we've been dealing with now for 30 years. It's good to see there's some people coming forward talking about it. Yeah. But